Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, 22nd the of the third month of the year, March. What we're doing today is we're going to review last contents and we're going to check some bits of the homework and review the whole thing about the relative clauses. Yes, relative clauses. And if we have time, some online practice. Today's vocabulary is connected to emotions. So let's see, Mary, if you're feeling blue today, what does it mean? If you're feeling blue this morning. Okay, it's not here. Tota, if you're feeling blue this morning, and I tell you, what's going on, Tota?
Triste.
Yeah, you're feeling sad. Thank you. Martina, if you're feeling over the moon, I'm over the moon. Oh, I'm happy for you, Martina. That's great. What is if you feel over the moon? Over the moon.
Contenta.
Yes, extremely, extremely happy. So if you feel on the clouds, like some people say, if you're feeling head over heels, Gianella, and I tell you, oh, that's good. Enjoy, girl. And you're listening to romantic songs.
Que está enamorada.
Yeah, yeah. It could be, yes. You can be over head over heels, head over heels. We don't have something similar to Spanish. If you're fed up, Mary, with something, if you're fed up with something, you say enough. Stop this out.
Como harta.
Yes, I'm fed up with this. Yes, fed up with. That is the expression. And Konsu, if you're feeling under the weather, people will say, "Oh, sorry." Do you mean anything? If you're feeling under the weather, when you're feeling under the weather, you don't see yourself pretty well. So people get worried. Easy. If you're feeling under the weather,
Sentirse muy mal,
yep, yeah, it can be physical. It can be
como debajo del agua, como cuando uno ya está demasiado mal.
yeah, absolutely. So that's feeling under the weather. So if you're feeling like that, please ask for help. All right, let's continue. So today's class, we are going to have a look at the homework, and also we don't have the time for this. We're gonna move on with the things. I'm gonna go quickly and review the previous contents because we have few English classes. Last class, what we were doing was to start checking what the classes were. Okay, we mentioned that relative clauses are some bits that helps us to give extra information about something. And to use the clauses, we use relative pronouns, like for example, who and that and which and whose and where, etc. Those relative pronouns, they help us to avoid repetition of the subject and also to link full sentences. We mentioned as well that there are two types of clauses, the defining relative clauses and the non-defining relative clauses. When we are talking about defining relative clauses, we are referring to all the clauses that give essential information. That means the information that cannot be removed from the sentence. And for those, we are going to be using the pronouns. And when we are talking about non-defining relative clauses, we are talking about those clauses which have extra information that is non-essential and that we can remove without problem. And also, and very important, is that these non-defining relative clauses are always with punctuation. It could be commas and period, and usually between commas. When we talk about defining relative clauses, we mentioned that they give information that is really important. and this information cannot be eliminated. For example, the computer, which we bought, is very expensive. This is the clause. This is a clause, which is very expensive. Le vamos a llevar clause a todo lo que viene después del relative pronoun. So if we eliminate this, the sentence is incomplete. The computer. Yeah, what about the computer? The computer we bought is expensive. So we're talking about something that is essential, which we bought is very expensive. That is the defining relative clause. It gives us important information that cannot be omitted. On the other hand, non-defining relative clauses, they gave us extra information that we don't need to understand the sentence. And that extra information is often between commas. So for example, I can say London is the capital of England, and that's perfect. It works. But you can also give extra information, and this information is in here between commas, which has some fantastic sparks, is the capital of England. The European Police Force, extra information, which began in working in 1999, is called the Europol. So again, non-essential information. And the other one as well. The girl was buying at the supermarket. This information is extra, and it goes between commas. These are the non-defining relative clauses. So a bit of a summary is that we have defining relative clauses. They have essential information. They do not use commas. We can use the relative pronoun that, and also we can omit the relative pronoun when it's not subject. Okay, I'm going to explain this later. Non-defining relative clauses, they provide us with extra information. They use commas or punctuations. We cannot use that, okay? In non-defining, we cannot use that. And also we cannot omit the relative pronoun. We're going to explain this today. Any questions now? No, okay. Let's continue. So with this said, it would be nice to check on some things. For example, you tell me, true or false, relative clauses describe or give extra information about something. True or false?
True.
Yep. Relative pronouns like which and that and who and where, they go at the beginning of the relative clause. The relative pronouns go at the beginning of the relative clause.
False. Falso, no.
This is true as well. Siempre al principio. For example, Yanela, who is the girl from 12th grade B, is in the English class, for example. So who is from the 12th grade B? That is a clause. Todo lo que va después del relative pronoun es, todo eso es considerado clause. Así que
yeah.
encabezado por esto, por los relative pronouns. The information in a relative clause is always essential for understanding the sentence. The information in relative clauses is always essential.
No siempre.
Yes, no, not always. We have defining relative clauses. Yes. Okay, let's see. Some relative clauses give additional information which is not essential for understanding.
Verdadero.
Yes, it's true. Relative clauses that give additional information are called defining.
No.
No, they are
Falso.
called non-defining. Relative clauses are always in the middle of a sentence. Usually, yes. I would say usually yes. So, some of them are at the end. They're never at the beginning. So we might say it's kind of true because sometimes at the end, but are always so it's false. Here we can use exactly the same relative pronoun in defining and non-defining relative clauses. All the
En el otro faltaría el dado, ¿no?
Yes, so that is false. Good, Martina. In non-defining relative clauses, we cannot use that. The punctuation is different from defining, for defining and non-defining relative clauses. The punctuation is different for defining and
Pero a eso se refiere a las comas, ¿o no?
yes, punctuation, commas.
Es distinto.
Yes, so it's true. That is true. Okay, perfect. So a bit of reviewing. Okay, we did that. No, we didn't do this. Okay, so how would you complete this? That's the house I was born. Let me call names. Isidora. That's the house I was born. How would you complete this? Oh, my back, people. Wow.
Where?
That's the house where I was born. Thanks. Thank you, Mary Peace. Also in the chat. Help me out. Okay, next one. Mary Peace. My auntie Ella is a journalist, is coming to visit next week.
That. Whose? No. Whose?
Who? Yeah, who is a journalist? Only who. We cannot use whose because it's not possessive. It's not possessive. It's not saying whose career as a journalist, maybe, or whose son is my best friend. I don't know, something like that. No puede ser whose. Okay, Yanela, what about next one? People like door activities. We love our holidays. Janet?
Who?
Who and other possibility?
That.
Yep. Javi Pedreros, next one. Thank you, Janet. In the early 90s, the Beatles first started. Was a very exciting time in popular music culture. The Beatles, the early 1960s. It's Javi Pedreros. Who is when? Yes, when. We're talking about the time. So it's very important that you check on the thing. Look. Okay, they refer to something specific. So thank you, Mary. Let's try with Mr. Balboa. Balboa, on my essay, en mi ensayo sobre Shakespeare, I found quite difficult. Got a really good mark in the end.
No sé, prefiero dar aquí.
My essay of Shakespeare is a thing. It's a homework. It's like an object.
Who was?
No, it's not possessive. It's an object.
Which?
Yes, which. My essay on Shakespeare, which I found quite difficult, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Good, Javi. It's called Tota. Tota, the Mayans lived in Central America, built many stunning temples. Tota. ¿Tota? No hay tota. Connie? Oh, thanks, Javi. The Mayans who lived in Central America. Is referring to the Mayans, not referring to the place, right? Por eso where no funciona mucho. Is the Mayans is the important part. Okay, Marty, that's the girl. Brother is in your class. That's the
Who igual.
who?
O whose.
Whose? Yes, perfect. Whose brother? Because we're talking about the brother of the girl. The brother of the girl is whose. And Consuelo, the snake was in the garden last week, belongs to the next door neighbor. Yes, Javi, good. Consuelo?
¿Qué?
Yeah. Thank you. Consuelo, estamos trabajando. Okay, so the snake, witch, Javi and Miss Mary are correct. The snake, witch, and that was in the garden last week belongs to our next door neighbor. Okay, so tell me, what about this sentence? Number one, defining or non-defining? Defining or non-defining, number one.
Defining.
Yes. No puedo borrar esto, si no queda, that's the house, y ahí quedamos. So the information is important. Number two, defining, non-defining.
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 Puedo sacar esto fácilmente y la oración se mantiene en pie. My auntie Ella is coming to visit next week. Plus, it has commas. Okay. Number three, defining, non-defining.
Defining.
Yep. Number four, defining, non-defining.
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 Defining. Number five, defining, non-defining.
Non-defining.
Yes, non-defining. Is anyone lost? Does anyone doesn't understand what is defining, non-defining? ¿Hay alguien que no esté cachando ni una? ¿Qué estamos haciendo?
Yo como que lo que entiendo es que cuando hay como una oración pequeña entre medio de la oración grande, se puede como eliminar, como es no defining.
Claro,
Sí,
claro,
sí,
se
sí.
puede eliminar, sí. Está entre comas, si que está al medio está entre comas.
Y cuando es más larga y sin comas, no es defining, lo que entendí.
Puede ser corto igual, en la longitud como que da un poco lo mismo, pero es como la información añadida, así que es relevante y no se puede sacar, es defining. Y si es que es extra, no esencial y le ponemos comas, o le ponemos coma y un punto, depende de dónde esté, es non-defining.
Ah, ya.
Ujú.
Ahí sí, sí. Sí, sí. Todo bien.
Number six. Number six.
Non-defining.
Defining. Number seven.
Defining.
Defining. And number eight.
Defining.
Defining. Okay. Okay, so we have the idea of what is defining, non-defining. Okay, so let's go to online practice. Okay, so here is choose defining, non-defining. ¿Qué me importa? Que la reconozcan. Más que lo otro es reconocerla, porque lo otro es muy mecánico, es poner las comas y todo. Reconocerla es lo mejor. Okay, what do you think? Defining or non-defining? So I have three brothers. It says the activity. This is contact clauses, sorry. Relative clauses defining, non-defining. Study situations, I decide whether the following relative clauses are defining or non-defining. Defining, no commas, defining commas. Okay, I have three brothers. That is the true. So let's see. My brother who lives in Sydney came to see me last month. My brother who lives in Sydney came to see me last month. What do you think is correct in this case? What is the
La
best?
segunda.
Yes. Lo importante es que tiene 3 hermanos, ya no es de dónde viene, entonces no. The second one, yes. The second one. 3 brothers. So my brother came to see me last month. That is the most important bit. I have one sister. My sister, who is 25 years old, spent her holiday in France. My sister, who is 25 years old, spent her holiday in France.
La segunda igual.
Yeah. Bob's mom has lost her keys. Bob's mom has lost her keys. Bob's mom, who is a musician, has lost her car keys. Bob's mom, who is a musician, has lost her car keys.
La
La
segunda.
segunda.
Yes, again. My friend Jane moved to Canada. My friend Jane moved to Canada. My friend Jane, whose husband is a Canadian, moved to Canada last week. My friend Jane, whose husband is a Canadian, moved.
La primera.
My friend Jane moved to Canada. My friend Jane, whose husband is Canadian, moved to Canada last week. My friend Jane, whose husband is Canadian. It should be second. Esto es súper extra.
Es que, no sé, como que justo se movió a Canadá y quizás está explicando como un por qué se movió a Canadá, o sea, por qué se mudó.
Es que aquí hubiese puesto algo con el esposo, así como el esposo de mi amiga es canadiense. Ahí sí, po, ahí sería relevante. Pero si yo lo saco y me dijeron esto, yo lo entiendo, po, entiendo que se mudó, po, pero esto es muy extra. Es como,
Ah, ya, pero es que lo vi más que nada como un por qué, o sea, por qué
sí,
justo se mudó a Canadá.
sí, generalmente una razón. Todas las relative clauses son alguna razón y hay que ir decidiendo si es que son relevantes o no. I'm a shoe fanatic. The shoes which I bought yesterday are very comfortable. The shoes which I bought yesterday are very comfortable.
La
La
segunda.
segunda igual.
Así como que da lo mismo que te lo compraste ayer, sino que son bacanes. Mr. Robinson is very famous. Mr. Robinson, whom I met at a fair trade, is a famous inventor. Mr. Robinson, whom I met at a fair trade, is a famous inventor.
Teacher, ¿qué es whom?
Whom es una forma antigua de decir who, ¿ya? O,
Ya.
como a quién, al cual yo me... al cual, pero de persona, como el equivalente del which. Mr. Robinson is
Igual
famous.
la segunda porque
Da lo
no
mismo,
importa, o sea, importa que sea famoso nomás.
Sí, pues importa que es famoso. A ver, esa está buena. Tamara has 2 cats. Both of them are black. Tamara's 2 cats which can play outside are black. ¿Eh? Tamara's whose 2 cats which can play outside are black. Todo el rato. Da lo mismo que jueguen afuera, no importa que son negros. So that is the idea, okay? The idea is that the information which is between the commas is extra. I mean, it's not really relevant. Ya vamos a algo más difícil. Voy a dejar esto abierto. Quiero esta. Y quiero una prueba difícil. Okay. Ya, esto lo voy a explicar después. Pero before that, I want to go. Okay, so what's the time? 11:35. We have 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go to the homework quickly. Okay, these are the people who presented the homework. I checked them. Okay, thank you for your responsibility. And these are new homework that I'm going to check. Okay, so I'm going to check them today. No, tomorrow, because today is really busy. So in general, I have to mention some things. This is a common mistake. Errores comunes. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go to the book. Story. Okay, okay, let me see. You tell me in which activity you had problems. Activity number 1, did you have any problems?
No,
No, right? Activity number 2?
no,
No. Activity 3?
no.
Activity 4?
Sí, ya en la 4 me confundí.
Okay.
Sí.
Yes, activity number 4 was a bit confusing for people. Here is quite easy, but let's see how it works. So how would you start? Number
My
4.
daughter
My daughter. Sorry, you have to take them. My daughter. You see now it's a
who
comma.
lives in Madrid
Who lives in Madrid. So we have non-defining
is an author.
is an author. So the important part is that she's an author, and some people have my daughter, who is an author, lives in Madrid. That is correct as well, because we don't know what's the focus. I think Yanela, you had that, right? My daughter, who is an author, lives in Madrid.
No me acuerdo.
Yo vi algunas que eran así porque estaban dadas vueltas, pero repito, no sabemos el foco, entonces no sabemos qué es lo relevante o qué es lo extra. Let's see this one. The Helen Weaver Witch. How would you go?
The film.
The film. The film, comma,
Which
which. Yes,
stars
yes.
Helen Weaver
Helen Weaver, yes.
is out now on DVD.
On DVD, yes. So now we're talking about the film. The film is the important thing. And the film is out now on DVD. And in that movie, also we have Helen Weaver. So my daughter is an author. Next one. Storyteller, comma,
Whose work
Whose work
work. What else? Whose work
takes him
takes him all over the world. All over the world.
is in Japan.
Is in Japan at the moment. So information again between commas. All of them are non-defining. This one. Okay, Prague.
where the boy grew up. No, era así.
Mhm.
Where the boy in the story is my hometown.
It's my hometown. So Prague is my hometown, and this is extra, where the boy of the story grew up. And finally, Sophie. No, it's not Sophie. ¿Cómo la saco? ¿Puedo sacarla? Yeah, anything. Okay, the heroine. ¿La puedo sacar? Sí, la puedo sacar, ya. The heroine. People, 5 minutes. I mean, we're on time. Help.
Profe, no. Ya empezó la clase de lectivo.
Okay. The heroine of the story. Who's
Is Friends? No.
whose I see. Whose father is French is called Sophie. Ahí. All right, people, we have to go. Short class. I'll see you next time next week. I mean, next class is tomorrow, I think. Okay, tomorrow we're going to check on new things about the relative clauses, and we're going to stop with that. See you. Good luck.